across the spectrum from under 12s right up to open adults. The key thing, I've got a bit of a handout for those that have grabbed one. If we need to get more, we can. Warm-up's really important to get kids ready to play. Now, kids this age probably don't need as much time to get warmed up and ready as somebody my age. They tend to warm up a lot quicker. The advantage of the warm-up is we can get a bit of skill execution, teach the kids how to move well, but also prevent some injuries. So we've developed, with Basketball Australia, we've developed more of a station approach. Kids tend to learn in small doses. This gets the kids active for longer and becomes a little bit more time efficient. So generally this warm-up will take about 8 to 10 minutes, so you're not imposing on too much of your session. So what we've got is we've got 6 stations. Each station's got a specific target. So the first one's going to be a lunge walk. We're including some balls, so they can actually bounce the ball as they do it. Then we've got hurdle runs, so we're going over the hurdle. We've got some resisted running. We've got to focus on our stopping, so our dribble with some acceleration and deceleration. We've got some footwork on the ladder, and we've got skipping, so quick contact on the ground. So as I said, kids tend to learn much better with external feedback. So that's why we've gone to using hurdles and ladders and things like that, rather than trying to explain to young kids and make it too complicated how to move. So this is helping them improve their skills as they go. All right, boys, are you ready? Off you go. That's it, nice and fast. Good, move those feet. Good, then back. Accelerate nice and fast, jump stop. That's all right, we'll fix them up. You're all right, take your time. All right. There you go, good. That's better. Good, good job, good job. That's all right, fix them up. Take your time, doesn't have to be done super fast. All right, here we go. All right, hold it there. If you've got a ball, put it down. We're going to move that way. So guys on the skipping rope, you come down this end, just move across one. So once the guys have got this set up and they're familiar with it, you can actually go through it really quickly. All right, ready, and go. Now you got to dribble out to here first. Dribble out, then do the pivot there. Good, stop there, good, and back. Fast 2-foot stop, quick as you can. Good, perfect. Good job, backwards, nice and low. No, I don't want them too far. It's deliberate. Got to pick your feet up. I'll talk about that later. Good, 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 good. Good stop. All right, move again. Move that way. Good job, guys. All right, and go. All right, I'll hold it for you. So just move this way. All right, I want you to run. Go, nice and fast. Go, move those feet. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. All right, now you're going to run backwards on the way back. All right, that's it. Good. Stay low. Get your butt low. Good, good, good. That's it. Good job. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Nearly there. And done. You can have a rest. Good job. A little bit further. All right, move on again. Yep, fast as you can, stop. 2-foot stop, pivot, good. All right, go. Stop, good, pivot. So 2-foot stop. Good, try and be light on your feet. Don't want to hear it. It's a nice quick stop, good. Good, nice quick feet. Nice and light on your toes, good. All right, start it behind you. Swing it over. That's it? Good. It's got to get it spin a bit faster. Good, there you go. It's going to take some practice. There you go, good. Good job, boys. Good, good stop. All right, move on. All right. And go. Not quite that tight. Loosen up a bit. Let him run, let him run. That's better, good, good, good. Good job, nice and low. Okay, what I want you to do is to make sure you come to a jump stop. 2 foot stop, here, as quick as you can, 2 foot stop. Yep, that's it. So out fast, 2 foot stop. There you go, good, now pivot, good. Good, nice and light on your feet. Get a blowout, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another little metal bit. That's all right. Now you just have to hold the end. There's another little metal bit that's gone. Oh, there it is there. Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
All right, guys, change. All right, you're gonna have to share. I've only got 2 skipping ropes, sorry. Can't skip? That's why I'm gonna practice. There you go. That's perfect. Here we go. Here's the other one. Someone can have that one. It's ready to go. Good job. Nice and light on your feet. Good. Good stop. Good job. Good. Where'd you guys start? Which one did you start on? On the ladder? This dribbling. Good. This is the last one. Go. Go. Nice and fast. A little bit further away. All right, good job guys. Everybody's been through everyone once. Good, can you grab the equipment and just push it back against the wall? So we've been through 6 or 7 minutes. The guys, put your hand up if you're feeling warm. So the guys have had lots of repetitions, they've done lots of different things. It's only taken 6 or 7 minutes, so we don't have to waste a lot of time on this. Now, the other thing we like to do is we've done some stuff physically to warm up. We're going to do some mental warm up and some cognition. So with your partner, come out here. Little man, you're going to not have a partner, come out here. Spread out here, guys. What you're going to do, this is my partner. We're going to link wrists with this hand. Come out here and set up like this, guys. What you've got to do, you've got to try and tap your partner's knees. You get a point every time you touch your partner's knees. Move out, you need a bit of space, otherwise you'll run into each other. Keep some space. All right, ready, set, go. Come on, touch my knees, come on. Good job. Are you going to join in? Perfect. All right, put your hand up if you're the winner. All right, the loser down to give me 2 push-ups. That was unlucky, you don't have to do them because you were late. All right, I want you to find a new partner. Quick as you can, you've got 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Make sure you got some space and go. All right, good job. Losers down for 2 squats this time. So 2 squats this time. All right, now you two. Well, this time you're going to put your hands on your partner's shoulder like that. Do that for me. Then what you got to do is you got to try and touch the top of your partner's shoes and get his shoes dirty. All right, ready? That's it. And go. Try and touch the top of your partner's shoes. All right, losers, give me 2 lunges. Good job, 1 more change. 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Just give yourself a bit of space, guys. You're going to run into each other. Move around a little bit. All right, and go. All right, losers, give me 2 squats. That's tough. Got a tie. All right, you can both do it. All right, what I want you guys to do is I want you to get a ball between 2. So you're gonna get 1 ball between a pair. If we need to race and get another couple, we can. All right, then come out here. So next thing we're gonna do is do a little challenge. So what you're going to do, one person's gonna hold the ball, you're gonna put your hands on top of the ball. No, both hands on top of the ball. When I let go of the ball, you've got to try and catch it before it hits the ground. You ready? Oh, not that easy, is it? All right, ready? Oh, all right, that's what you do with your partner. You got to have 5 goes each, then swap. See if you can catch the ball. Spread out again, guys. Spread out a little bit. Give yourself a bit of room. Don't want to run into anyone and headbutt each other.
I'll get it.
Good. 5 goes each, then swap. No, you don't throw it, you just got to drop it. Don't throw it, just drop it. Oh. Hard work, isn't it? Now you just got to rest your hands on top. Okay, maybe hold a bit higher. All right, had 5 goes each?
Yeah.
All right, go and get a drink for me while I chat to the other coaches. So again, we've taken about 10 minutes. We've got the guys ready to go. Somebody did ask about doing running beforehand. Look, if it's a really cold day, you could start with some gentle running, but kids this age don't need to spend hours warming up. They warm up really quickly. The warm up is probably better spent doing some skill acquisition. You saw a lot of kids initially were knocking the hurdles over. That was deliberate to have the hurdles at a certain distance because we want to get the kids to pick their feet up. That's the value of external feedback. If I told the kids run with high knees, it's a lot harder for them to grasp. We put hurdles there, it forces them to do it. So kids learn a lot better with that external feedback. So all of those have some element of external feedback to help them. We also don't want to overcomplicate it. So we don't want to do drills that have 5 or 6 different components. And as I said, it's really important that the kids can get it. The next part of what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of simple, what I'd call strength and conditioning. I think sometimes this gets lost. People think you have to be in the gym to do strength and conditioning. For kids this age, most of their strength gains are going to be neuromuscular. That is, they move better, more efficiently, and their body can recruit the right muscle to do the right job. So we're going to go through a couple of little drills. Again, it doesn't need to take hours, 5 to 10 minutes in a training session, but doing it consistently is going to be much more important. All right, boys, come back down this way. So the first one we're going to focus on some running and a little bit of strength work. I want 1 ball between your pair again. All right, come this way. So the person with the ball, you're lining up along the baseline facing that way. With your ball. The person without the ball, you're going to come and stand with your back against the wall like this. All right, spread out you guys with the ball, facing that way. All right, you guys on the wall. When I say go, we're going to get down in this position like this. We're going to do a wall sit. Okay, you don't have to start just yet. All right, you guys with the ball, when I say go, you're going to run as fast as you can, dribbling the ball down the other end of the court and come back. Your partner can't come off the wall until they come back. You ready? All right, set. Wait there, don't go early. And go. Good job, guys. Don't fall down off the wall. All right, when they get back, you can stop and stand up. All right, now swap over. All right, you guys on the wall, get ready. Down you go. Guys with the ball, ready, go. How your legs feeling? A bit burny? Good job. All right, swap over again. We're going to do 1 more each. You ready? All right, wait there. We've got someone doing a shoelace. Don't worry, it's all right. You got time. Do your shoelace up. right, ready, go. Good job. Keep going, good job. All right, last one. Ready, and go. Good job, guys, on the wall. Good job. Okay, who's feeling a bit tired after that? A little bit? Yeah, it's pretty hard, isn't it? Especially when you got to do the wall sit as well. All right, put the balls down, come over here. So that one we were working on, a little bit of running, a little bit of predominantly quad strength. We're going to use the stands over here. So come over here in your pairs. I want one person standing along this white line. The other person, you're going to stand near the bench here. So you've got to stand behind your partner. Your partner's facing the bench. All right, so one person facing the bench, their partner on the white line there. So spread out again, you've got the whole bench to work with. So what we're going to look at is a little bit of strength here. We've got stands like this, stands like that everywhere. They're great. Again, external feedback. What you guys are going to do, one foot's on the step. You're going to step up. Now on the way down, you're going to lower down so your back leg touches the ground softly. So you've got to lower down slowly so you don't hit the ground hard. I want you to do 6 each leg. While they're doing that, what you guys are going to do is you're going to come down in the push-up position like this. And you're going to hold that while they do that exercise. All right, good, go. When they finish, we're going to swap. Up, you got to step down slowly. Good, 6 each leg. Good. How you going in the push-up position, guys? Getting hard? Good job. See if you can hold it there. Once you've done 6 each legs, go and tap your partner on the back and then they can stop doing their plank. All right. Go over and tap your partner on their back. As soon as you tap your partner, they can stop. All right, now we're going to swap over. All right, so you guys know what to do. Yeah. Step up, you've got to come down slowly. All right, you guys in the push-up position, go. 6, once you've done 6 each leg, then you can swap back with your partner. Nice and slow so that back leg touches the ground softly. Good job. Hard work, guys? Yeah. Lift your hips up a little bit higher. There we go. Makes it a bit harder, doesn't it? Even a bit higher still. There we go. Again, once you guys have done your 6, then you can swap over with your partner. Touch them on the back and then they can come down. Okay, good job. All right, this time what you guys are going to do, you're going to lie on your back with your feet on the bench. So you guys lie on your back on the floor, feet are up on the bench. Okay, this time what you're going to do, you're going to lift your hips up off the floor. No, not your chest, your hips. So this part, lift up, yep, nice and high. So you've got to do 10 of those. While they're doing that, you guys are going to stand on one leg with your eyes closed. All right, ready, set, go. Up and down, guys, on the bench. You've got to do 10. Get those hips up nice and high, down to touch the ground. Good. Go and tap your partner. Once you're done, swap over. All right, whichever one you want. If you fall over, you've got to swap feet. All right, go, eyes closed, balancing you guys. Lifting your hips up and down, you guys here on the bench. Up and down 10 times. Good, once you've done 10, go and touch your partner. All right, now the last one. You first, guys. What are you gonna do? 2 feet. Jump up onto the step. You gotta do 6 of those. Good. While they're doing that, you guys gotta go side to side, and you gotta do 10 over and back, as quick as you can. Good, once you've done 10 that way, then you do 10 forward and back. That's it. Once you've done 6, swap with your partner. You've got to jump side to side over the line, nice and quick, 10 times, then forward and back 10 times. Nice and quick, so don't hit the ground too long. That's it, good, perfect. 10 side to side, 10 forward and back. Good, 6 of those. Good job, guys. All right, how you feeling? Was that pretty hard or too easy? All right, you guys are done, so go and get a drink. Good job. So again, we can use different stuff. We don't have to make it overcomplicated. Just then, they've done some strength work on their legs. They've done some power on their jumping. Again, stands, like these things work really well. Chairs, they just give the kids some feedback and gives them target to do. As I said, we've been through a fair bit, less than half an hour, and we've had time to listen to me, which is quite boring. But you can get through plenty in short amounts of times without overcomplicating it. So that's probably the main thing for me is try not to overcomplicate it. Think about what you want to work on and be really targeted, and try and give the kids a bit more external feedback so they actually can learn a little bit quicker and we can improve their skills as well. Does anybody have any questions about any of that or anything a bit more generally with regards to warm-up, cool-down, recovery, that sort of stuff?
So make it all nice, short, and
yep.
fun.
Short, sharp, fun. Yeah, these kids are young, they want to do stuff, they want to have fun. As I said, that's the other advantage of having those external cues is it's a bit of fun. Going over hurdles is a bit of a challenge, it's not something they normally do. Using the bands is good fun, it's not just normal running. A bit of resistance on it makes it a bit more fun, a bit more challenging. And as I said, in partners, they keep up with each other. You can do a lot of stuff quite quickly. Jumping up on a bench is much better than just standing there jumping. So any way to make it a bit more fun and engaging is really valuable.
Is that, say, from under 12s to under 18s?
Yep, you can do the same thing, it doesn't matter. So with the under 18s this year, we didn't get into the gym, so we did a lot of stuff at the sessions, and the coaches are here, and I'm sure they can attest that some of the girls and guys found it pretty tough. We didn't use one weight. You can do a lot with body weight. As I said, I think that the big challenge is a lot of people assume you've got to be in the gym. You don't have to be. If you do things consistently and often enough, they'll get stronger and get better. Any other questions about any of that?
So, Toby,
yep.
I still see a lot of stretching pre and post.
Yes, good question.
Didn't do any stretching.
No.
Can you talk about that pre and post versus the neuromuscular stuff that you've done today?
Deliberately no stretching prior. Back when I was playing, we would spend 20 minutes stretching before every session, doing static stretches and holds. The evidence for that is actually counterproductive. It's now been shown that static stretching is actually detrimental to power and speed performance. So we don't do static stretching before a session. And then even after a session, the evidence isn't real strong. It doesn't help reduce injuries. It doesn't help reduce soreness. It can help some people feel better, so it's not a bad idea afterwards to do a bit of stretching. But I would certainly look at more dynamic sort of stuff, skill development and dynamic movements than static stretching these days, certainly.
Sorry, with the start, what we did with the start, which is very dynamic.
Yep.
Do you do just a minute of just half pace up and down, some grapevine, just to get...
If it's really cold, I would,
yeah.
But what does most kids do when they come into the gym anyway? they're already running around. So most of your kids are going to be here 5 or 10 minutes before. They're running around having shots. I think sometimes we can waste a lot of time doing what we would do with adults. And as I said, these kids, they'll warm up like that. I need to warm up for longer than those guys because we're older, but we don't take what we do for old people, put it to young people. As I think the value for the young kids is getting them into it quickly, maximising your time so then you can do the other basketball stuff they love. So, and as I said, you know, it is dynamic, but it is self-paced too. So if they are a little bit colder, they will naturally go a little bit slower as well, and that's fine.
So hypothetically, you only get about 3 to 5 minutes prior to a game to be able to warm up. Was there anything that you prioritise in terms of like functional movements or sports specific?
Yeah, I would go, as I said, if you can, I would go with some of that sort of stuff. As I said, I would just get them moving, number one. As I said, 3 to 5 minutes is tough, but you could just condense that in. As I said, you might add an extra couple of stations so that the kids are doing it individually. But as I said, you saw that took, the actual first part of it took 6 minutes, so it doesn't take long. But I would certainly include some stuff on the muscles that they're going to be working in the game. So lunges, squats, those sort of movements are going to be really important, and obviously some sort of running stuff. So if I had to pick the 3 most important things, I'd do something that involves running and stopping, so deceleration. I'd include something that involves some sort of squat or lunge movement, and I'd include something that involves some running and movement side to side, lateral movement, because they're the 3 probably most important things for basketball. Any other questions? Time to write.
Awesome. Yeah, perfect time. Thank you, Toby.
And if anybody does have anything you want to follow up, just ask Jonty. He's got my contact details. So if you get stuck or want some ideas, feel free to send me an email.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks, boys. Grab the stuff. Grab the stuff. Grab the stuff.
Huh?
They're going to sweat them.
All right, guys, thanks for coming this morning. We're trying to make it pretty quick so you're not sitting and listening just to a lot of laborious talk. For the next 30 minutes or so, just going to talk about defensive containment and how we can improve that. Obviously, containing the ball is one of the most challenging things for young players. You see games every Friday night, every Saturday where it's just like this constantly. So trying to find ways to give them the fundamental base to contain their player, all right, but also make it interesting and game-like. You know, we've all been subjected to, whether that's as former players or we've done it as coaches, you know, the dreaded zigzag drill. It's not wrong, but it's about as stimulating as a plate of broccoli, you know, so we've got to find ways to hide that broccoli in the spaghetti sauce a little bit, all right, and find ways that it's a bit more game-like, because that should be your goal in practice. What we're doing in practice, as much as we can, does it look like what's going to happen in a game? And one of the challenges of just drilling is it doesn't really replicate what happens in a game. So what I'm going to try and do is give you some foundational things, right? But then give some things that replicate what happens in a game. One, we call it practice for a reason. We want to practice what happens in a game, right? We don't want to drill what happens in practice. There's a big difference there, right? But also with young players, we want to add context. As coaches, we've got this great plan about how we're going to build it up from 1-on-0, 1-on-1, you know, 2-on-0, 2-on-2, 3-on. We've got this great structure, beautiful practice plan and whatever else. And we're thinking that they're coming along for this learning journey, right? They think everything's in isolation. They don't see the link that we do because they're out there doing. So adding context is really, really important, all right? Some tenets of containment. Stance is obviously a big one. Can they establish, maintain, and move in a stance? Hand positioning is under-taught. You know, the way we teach hand positioning is don't reach. Don't think of McDonald's. Who just sort of the golden arches? Don't's not teaching, right? Who's done this famous one? Don't foul. Oh, all right. So we've got to actually teach the action that we want. So what we're doing with our hands. Ball you basket is really important. If I'm guarding the ball, quite simply, the ball, myself, basket is just, we talk about maintaining chest to chest. Big to bigger movement, we'll go through it with the girls. We're here, all right? If I want to move this way, I'm big and I want to go to bigger, all right? I don't want to go from big, small, there, because then I open that gate, all right? And then we want to catch the first dribble with square hips, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll get started. Girls, I'm sorry, I should have told you before, and partner up, ball between two. So you get a ball between two, quick. Quick means run. Right, this end, girls, this end. This end. See, Toby got the good deal. He got the under 12s who race everywhere. I got the under 18s who walk everywhere. All right? Now, just to start, we're just going to work on mirroring. And again, just like Toby said, we're not going to do this for 10, 15 minutes. All right? I think sometimes we mistake repetition with boredom. And particularly when you've got young athletes, you know, and it's great that I think BACT's done a great job to have 3 under 18 rep girls teams. That's a phenomenal effort in this day and age. We've got to make sure there's some stimulus in it. So when you're doing foundational drills, don't do them for 8 minutes. Don't do reps of 10. Do reps of 4 and move on. Add some elements. It's not, you know, you're not throwing the vegetables out, but as I said, you're just slicing them up and putting them in the spaghetti sauce so they're happy to eat them. So mirror drill to start. You're going to be on offense. I'm just going to throw it and close out. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I've got both hands above the ball. Not here, but above the ball. My feet are outside her feet, all right, and I'm in a stance, okay? As that happens, she's going to put the ball on one hip, and I'm going to make sure that I've got my hand above the ball, not on it, above the ball, and this one's up to take anything away. As she sweeps it from there, same thing. I change my hand positioning. Now she's going to put the ball above her head, all right, and I'm going to put my forearm across that. Again, hand above the ball. Now she's going to rip it down like you would, you're going to drive, and we're just going to do that, all right? So let's partner up and do that. Quick, let's go. So you want deliberate movements from the offensive player, and this is like brushing your teeth. You should do this every practice, right? Just get them to understand maintaining a stance, but again, be really specific what you want them to do with their hands. Go, repeat. Good. All right, now, get back to the defender, move about 1 meter away. Now, same thing. I'm going to throw it. I'll be here for a minute. I'm going to throw it. You're going to shot fake. So as I throw it, I'm going to close out 2 hands. The reason we teach 2 hands on closeouts, this is not a natural, comfortable body position. 2 hands up, 1 hand forward. Because if I give her 1 hand forward, what's she going to do? She's either that. Now I've got to go from this stance to that. Now I'm not in a legal guarding position, right? So we go 2 hands, 2 feet, shot fake, ball. Now same thing. Hand, change. Good. Here, 1 hand above the ball, 1 hand up. One of the things you see consistently is aeroplanes, all right? The one thing about aeroplanes, if there's not air traffic control, it's bad, all right? So they come out and then they do airplanes. What am I stopping? If she drives and I touch her with this stance, foul. Can she pass above? Yes. Can she pass below? Yes. Can she shoot? That's why we want hand above ball, all right? So we're going to do that. Then you're going to take 1 dribble to the right. Everyone's going to go to the right. All right, I'm going to go big to bigger, go. And I'm going to catch that with square hips. Understand what I mean? Right? Because you see kids consistently go this way and I catch it here. Now 1, I'm not chest to chest. 2, that's not a legal guarding thing. All right? So let's see that, girls. Let's go. Throw it out, close out. Good. Block, good. Hand, good. Couple of movements, then 1 dribble. Catch it, good. Then swap over, quick. Now do it quicker. Again, I would do this in practice after you've done some semblance of warm-up like Toby did. I would get into this. This is our teeth brushing. All right? So, but I would only do 2 reps of each of these things. 2 reps per person. If we do this for 10 minutes, you talk about broccoli, you've just served up a big plate for dinner. That's all you've got. They've lost interest. They're not going to get the nutrients. All right, now, pretty good. So older kids, you know, you rep kids 16s and 18s where the game's a little bit more physical. All right, now you want to add an element of physicality. So as you throw it out and close out, all right, you should be in touch distance, or sometimes with little kids we call taipan distance. Just jump out. All right, the taipan's one of the deadliest snakes in the world. All right, and the reason they're deadliest is they're multi-strike. All right, so they don't just get you once, they're like, all of a sudden. All right, so now as they do it, up here, right there, all right, can't get them to do that. Just get in good habits. Again, don't reach. I'm not reaching. That's why we use the taipan's analogy. She's there, all right, if she gets a bit lazy with it, I'm not reaching, I'm striking at the ball. Now, when she puts the ball above her head, and I won't do it to her, but the teammates can do it, I'm literally going to put this across her sternum and try and stick it. Now I'm adding physical presence to the ball. Now she's got to have skill. All right, so see if you can strike at it. If they get a bit lazy, and really the strike is this. All right, it's like that, just like a snake. Bang. See if you can get it. If not, hands are up. Remember, 1 hand's above the ball. Plate. Good. Be physical. Good. Good. Feet outside, feet. Good. All right, now, quickly, just move around a little bit. So now that's 2 dribbles and they're going to the right. All right, so keep adding elements. All right, obviously, I'm not coaching them, I'm coaching you. But as you move through this, that's why I talk about 2 repetitions. Do it twice each, add an element. Do it twice each, add an element. Do it twice each, add an element, move on. All right, okay, we're going to do 10 minutes of stance. Thanks for that. Like even when Jonty spoke to me, he said, "Can you do 30 minutes of containment?" I said, "You didn't want me to, like." It just, but it's so important. It's so important to do it, but do it in sound bites. These kids live their life in sound bites, right? They don't watch whole movies. They don't listen to whole songs. It's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, right? That's what we've got to do. So now a little bit quicker, so maybe go every second person. Now you're really going hard at it, all those things. Now you're going 2 hard dribbles to your right. You've got to catch that with square hips. Just show it here. Here we go. Good. Good girl. Good. All right, now, the hardest thing to do with players, that's my fault, poor instruction. I still want you to go through that same system. So she's getting some practice. So as I come, lift, all right. Now 1 hip, now another hip. Now change again, no, change again. Right, now go 2 hard dribbles. All right, so we're getting all that movement, all right, and we're rehearsing that, then we're getting them more live. Here we go. Good, good, hands, good, good. That's it, girls, good job. All right, hold up, good. Good job, girls. Now we get to, because what we want to do as much as we can is teach it, drill it, play it. Teach it, drill it, play it. If you drill it, or you teach it, you know, anyone coach under 10s or under 12s? What's the first question they ask when they walk in the gym? When do we play? And we say, at the end, we're going to do all these really, really boring drills, and then if you eat all your broccoli, you get ice cream at the end, all right? You want to move a bit more dynamically. Teach it, really important. Drill it, really important, but no more important than play it, all right? So just move out, so you guys come this way. All right, like you're out of the drill, all right? The people in the middle are in the drill, everyone move out. So you're here. So now we're gonna play it, just be a little higher on the floor. So we're gonna throw it and close out. Now we're gonna go rehearsal to live. So you're gonna, yep, good girl, here, hip, hip, hip again. Now, all right? After that, 3-second shot clock, we're playing one-on-one, all right? So we're getting rehearsal to live. So we're still going through the discipline of hand above ball, movement, feet outside feet. Once we've done that, 3-second shot clock. With little kids, maybe a 4-second shot clock. Why do we say shot clock and not dribble limit? You've seen the kids handle the ball these days? They handle it really, really well, all right? So we used to say, oh, 2 dribble maximum. Well, their move might need 3 dribbles. It might need 4. Again, we want to do things that happen in a game. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate the live bit, all right? Here we go, show this. And then the next group will go straight after and then go through. So rehearsal first, good. Go, sorry mate, go. Good, hands, good, good. Now we've got 3 to 4 second shot clock. Good, next. All right, when I say 3, keep going gang, don't worry about me. 3 to 4 second shot clock, firstly don't count for them. That's part of the learning. Can they count if they got an internal clock? All right, and if you say 4 seconds and they go 5 seconds, it's not the Royal Commission, just, you know, because that move that young lady did before, that was a realistic move, but it was more than 2 dribbles. All right, here we go. Good. Good. Good job. Good. All right, now, come back. Again, teach it, drill it, play it. Once they get to play, let them have a couple of repetitions, then add 1 piece of detail. 1 piece of detail. You know, what we tend to do, because we've got such a desire to help the kids, we make everything a priority. And what's that great saying? If everything's a priority, nothing is, all right? So sometimes you've got to talk less. All I'm going to say now is, what I want you to do is chest blow the second one. So just go out, right, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Now, on the first one, just walk through a dribble this way. Bang, first one you're containing, good. She's still got feet outside feet. She's still got chest to chest. She's caught it with square hips. As she turns the corner, you're probably going to bump her, chest blow, let her come into your body. Hop back, and now you're containing, all right? What happens, you see consistently, just jump out. I do a good job, then on the second one, I get to here. Bad things are gonna happen. As soon as really I put any sort of contact on her when I'm not in a legal guarding position, fair enough, they're gonna call it. So what I wanna do, she comes at me, I bump, but I hop back. So what have I got now, what we talk about? Ball, you, basket, square hips, chest to chest. So we're going to add that chest blow, all right? I actually like the term bump and done more than chest blow, all right? Because chest blow, you say it to little kids, you know, that little group we had here before who were fantastic, all right? Imagine if you say chest blow, their defender would be like, oh, that's going to be a foul every time. So what I'm going to talk about is you come, 1, 2, she gets me, bump, and done, and I'm off the ball. All right, let's see that, let's go. Good, good. Bump, bump, good girl, excellent. Next, go. Good job, girls. Just keep going, don't worry about me talking, I'll stop you when I need to stop you. Good, bump, good, and then back, pop back. Bump and done, bump and done. All right, here we go. Good, good. All right, now, all right, it takes some doing. Now be careful with the little ones, as I said. You know, they're very literal learners. All right, you start talking about chest blow or bumps and whatever else. So that's why you want to always give them Anatomic points of reference, geographic points of reference. What do you want them to do with their body? Where do you want them to stand? Right, really, really important, all right? Feet outside feet, right? Anatomic references, right? Hand above ball. Geographic reference. Ball, you, basket. Some will talk about no middle. Some will talk about, you've got to give them points of reference, right? Consistently. Okay, now jump on the baseline for me, quick. Still in your pairs. So with that series, that might take 6 minutes of your practice total. Once you've taught it, you just get into the, we call it mirror series, you just get into that, all right? If you want, you can do it in the 3/4 court, because like I know in under 12s, the whole game's played in the full court. Again, you want to expose them to what's going to happen in a game. Now, you're here on D and you've got the ball, all right? So we'll use this lane line, that lane line. So you guys are behind, however you want to do it. Now, again, teach it, drill it, play it. Spend a lot of time where they have to go from rehearsal, so technique base, to playing, right? So you're up in taipan's distance or touch distance. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take 2 little dribbles this way. You're going to chest to chest, crossover, right? And it's just technique based. But remember what you're doing with your hands. So every time one's above the ball, one's up. And as you change this direction, boom, boom. All right, so we're working technique. Just do that. Go, just slowly. Technique, great technique, good. Not even that distance, good. A little bit, yeah, go forward, good, good. Now, when you get to around the elbow and you sense it, I want you to pop out outside the 3, pass it to her, close out, 4-second shot clock. All right, rehearsal to live. All right, so just show that. So this is just, and you guys get ready to go there, right? There's just one cross. You're here, 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 throw it out, close out. Now we're playing live, one-on-one. Here we go. You guys can get ready to start on the lane line, pass it out, good close out, good, good, good girl, good stance. Good job, next, go, 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 go. Hands, good. Keep going, you're all right, good girl. Now pop out, close out. Good. Good job, next, go, go, go. Keep going, don't worry about me girls right now, I'm just going to talk to the coaches. Keep playing, keep playing.
That first part, under 12, is it just better don't reach, but just make sure you're in.
Yeah, so literally, yeah, literally it's this, right, the discipline, yep, for sure. Now, when we talk about teach it, drill it, play it, when you get to play it, and this bit as she pops out, here's the playing. When it gets live, this is a discipline. Time for you to be quiet. That's their time. You know, I think sometimes we coach too much. Mick Polton, most players think coaches coach too much, which is a euphemism for most players think coaches talk too much. So when they get to playing, let them play. You can teach them here, hand positioning, good spacing, hand position, good, pop out. Now I need to be quiet. It's their time to play. All right, don't overcoach in that environment. All right, hold up. Now, go back, sorry Tess. So you guys don't need a ball. All right, so you guys are here, same thing, quick. All right, O and D there, so give me a gold and a blue. All right. Now, as you're doing that, and to your point, Nev, on this side, we're just rehearsing without the temptation of the basketball. All right, so come a little closer. So you're walking through it and you're walking, just moving here, change, move here, change, move there, change. Pop out, pass it. 2 on 2 now with a 6-second shot clock. 2-on-2 with a 6-second shot clock. Now, what kids will do, modern basketball, they'll run over there and ball screen because they can't function without ball screen. It's like oxygen. There's two things that make little kids work, is oxygen and ball screens, all right? We want to work containment, so we don't want to get to the ball screen. So you're just playing 2-on-2, 6-second shot clock and go. Show the whole thing, quick. Good, good. Stance, good. Pop. Send, jump to the ball, good. Close out. Good, good girl. Good job. Excellent, excellent job. That's as good as you want. And again, that's what, other than providing affirmation, good job, all right, nice. Just when they're playing, let them play. And it comes from a good place, but we're like, let's be serious. And I know we've got some educators in the room. The cognitive flow of information coming from your brain to your mouth, to their ears, to their brain, to action, how long do you think that takes? All right? So give them the detail, but when it's time to play, let them play. Even in the NBA, in drills like this, they call them silent drills. Not silent defensive, not silent the players, silent the coaches. Once they get to live, you go, pass it, drill it, there it is, there. What does all that mean? It's just verbiage. So try and limit your verbiage as much as you can, all right? And again with containment, see if you can add elements, all right? So now give me someone in a corner, Sienna and your partner in the corner, please. It's hard here, and I know you found it difficult, you know, when you're just getting them to, but again, you have to give them the rote learning of the movement, all right? So same thing, you're staying in the corner, all right? Say, move, yep, good, good. They'll get more used to it, pop, lead, that's you, Sienna, lead. 3-on-3, guess what? 8-second shot clock. And now we play. It's still a containment. We're getting some vegetables here. We're getting some vegetables here. Now we're live, right? You've got to do a great job of containing, and then you guys are playing. Tessa, you can screen away if you want, but no one can ball screen. Let's just see that one time as quickly as we can. Quick. Good, good. Pop. Good, send, rip, play, good. Containment, good job. Good, all right. So you see now you've got elements of containment. That, it got ugly, don't fix it. Your job's not about the aesthetics, your job's about the learning. You know, stop, set it up, set what up? Can't do that in a game. There's no live ball turnovers in proper basketball, all right? So when it gets ugly, you got to be comfortable with the mess. All right, really good job. Now, can I get, can you come out here with just the ball, all right? No, just her, all right? Now I need O and D over here. Yep. I'll be you for the minute. All right, so the ball's there, just a bit higher on the seam. The last thing you've got to do is make sure that you drill containment from change of stance. A lot of those is we're very organised and whatever. That doesn't happen in a game. All right, so again, it's got to look like what happens in a game. So I'm guarding here, so I'm probably just a little bit higher on the floor. All right, you're just going to help me with the drill. So as she comes to penetrate, right, I show help, don't provide help. Big difference. When I say show help, I'm here, right? My positioning is my help. If I provide help, she flips it over here and I haven't helped at all, all right? So I'm here, I'm guarding her, I've got my, I show help now, retreat, all right, come again, show help, all right, go again, and then on the third one, just bring it in and pass it. Now I've got to close out, 4-second shot clock, we're playing. All right, so we're hiding help into this containment drill. We're hiding closeouts into the containment drill. Now we're playing, all right? So it's hard, and kids, It's funny because they live their whole world here getting stimulus from something else. When you try and get them to do stuff and visualize, you know, we always say, just visualize the defense. You might as well say, you know, say the alphabet backwards 9 times. Like, it just doesn't resonate. So you've got to teach them to visualize about where it fits in a game. Oh, we good? Good. Show help. Good. Good. You got to move. Good. And again, quick. Good. Good. All right. Third one we're playing out. Good. Containment. Wall up. Pretty good. So you just do that. Now, it makes it a bit easier. Someone guard blue, someone on blue guard. Start right in the corner now. Come off your player a little bit, please, Sienna. All right. Same thing. As she dribbles, containment. I show help, I don't provide help. Retreat. All right. She comes. I show help now. On the second one, throw it, close out. 2-on-2, 6-second shot clock. She's getting some rehearsal containment. She's getting rehearsal movement, close out, and containment. We've got so much veggies and carrot and onion in that spaghetti sauce now, right? They don't realize it, but it's really nourishing. We're able to help them. It looks like what happens in a game. Go. Good. Movement. Get good. Now play. Good. Close out again. All right. If you've got a defensive drill breakdown that includes 2 closeouts and 3 points of containment, golden. That's a lot, isn't it? And again, it comes back to that repetition thing, right? Does it look like what happens in a game? All right. It's realistic, but you don't have to do it 8 times. Like if I was doing this drill from 1-on-1 plus 1 to 2-on-2, then of course you get add 3. I'd only do, so every player gets 2 repetitions, all right? And then you move on to something else. You might add just 1 element. What's an element? Add another player, all right? Add a geographic constraint. Don't think drills, think drill series. All right, girls, just come here for a sec real quick. Now, this is a tough gig for these guys. They lost one of their training. They've got to be here, all right? You know, the coaches, we're coaching you, we're not coaching them, but we expect them to be really good and really diligent. And I thought that, and of course, it is a big plate of broccoli. It's just, you know, an hour of defense. There's not a player on the planet that likes that. Shall we thank the girls, please? Any quick questions, because I'm mindful of time?
Just a point of interest. You mentioned you stopped the screen early, which is a real surprise to me because only coaching seniors, they couldn't screen to save themselves. And yet you made the girls not screen very quickly. Yet to me, in seniors, it's just gone.
Yeah, but yeah, so the question was around limiting the screen and that we're not developing screeners and they get to the senior level and they can't screen, right? I get you 100%. As soon as you add screening, when you've got a defensive emphasis like this, it goes to hell in a handbasket, all right? So this, I'm overloading. Can you defend in space? Can you defend your man one-on-one? You know, can you contain one-on-one? And then that's another constraint that you can put in the screening. But I think one of the, and we may be on different pages and that's fine. I see under 12s and under 14s with all these ball screens and I start to sweat and shiver because they can't do the foundational things first, all right? But again, that's an OD priority thing as well. Anything else around that? All right, well done to all of you. You know, BACT's really ramped up the way it's approached coach development, doing a great job for you guys to give up to your Sunday morning to come and share some information, you know, is appreciated and respected. So thanks for what you do and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks.
I'm going to get a partner and a ball, so we're ready to go for the Velcro bit, and we'll come over here. We're good. Morning, everyone. My name's Jenny Lonergan. I was fortunate enough to be the head coach of the under-18 girls territory state team that went to a national championships in April. My brief from Jonty and Leonard was about to talk about some of our learnings and put that into place. So I chose to speak about today on-ball screen defensive coverages. We're going to look at it in a 2-on-2 situation with sideline pick and roll. And then we're going to look at it in 2-on-2 in middle pick and roll. And then I'm going to give you a drill at the end that's called 4-on-4 combo, which basically allows them to have multiple screening actions to defend in a 4-on-4 space. If that makes sense. First of all, I've already spoken to the girls because it's really important that with me when I coach is making sure that I'm really transparent with them about giving them a heads up, particularly teenage girls, that I'm going to put them in an uncomfortable space for about the next 45 seconds, even though the next 30 minutes is probably feeling uncomfortable for teenagers, girls to be on display. But we talked about in the under-18 girls and some learnings I had from being involved in Basketball Australia's National Performance Camp and an under-15s process was about this idea of something tangible to get them to think skinny when they get screened. So we talked about the word Velcro, and when you think about the concept of Velcro, it's two things sticking together. So I've asked the girls, I've already worded them up so they know they're on display here. So one person has a ball, you can spread out all over the court, it doesn't matter where. The other person is going to put her hip, all right, so the thought process is Velcro, my hip to her hip. So Raya's going to come, she's going to make the ball handler really uncomfortable. She's in stance, talk about the things that Lono's just spoken about, but her hip is Velcroed to the other person's hip. So then when the screen comes, if I'm the screen, she's going to be so close and skinny, she can get skinny and get long and get through. All right, girls, can you just practice that for 10 seconds while I speak to the coaches? Make sure you flip over, 10 seconds each. So really important that you give them something. Now, Velcro is just the word. And it's not that you're going to go and yell out Velcro, Velcro, Velcro every possession. It's that idea of, you'll see it in a moment when I talk about getting skinny on screening so you don't get screened. So defense teams want to screen you. Your job as the defender is don't get screened, if that makes sense. And it's uncomfortable. They won't like it because you think about it, what's the automatic thing that the offensive player does when someone gets in their grill? They automatically, like they're being well drilled here and moving forward, but what they actually want to do is you naturally think about if someone came and wanted my space, what would I do? You'd probably retreat because you don't like the feel. So, all right, great job, girls. Can you set up 2-on-2 here for me, please? So you girls just can come and line up and be ready to go in the next part of the drill. We'll go both sides. You girls can rotate either way. So I'll drill this side first. So we'll do side pick and roll. So make a lead, Sophia. Get open. Good job. Tiana's going to pass you the ball. Tiana, you're going to side pick and roll here. So what we did first of all, our coverage was a hard show. So Tiana's going to come and screen Raya. She's going to be good, some Velcro, a bit of contact here. But Sienna's going to hard show it when she comes off it. So just go back a little bit for me. We're just going to go slow-mo so we can demo it. So it's here. Now, for Raya to get through a screen, her heel has to get over the screener's foot. So it's heel, her hip has to get through. And then we teach a lot of this hand out here in space. So again, that we can direct the ball and she doesn't turn the corner. Sienna's job is to hard show. So she's connected here at the back of the screener. All right, and then she's going to go this way, 1, 2 slides in a hard show, enough time for her teammate to get back, and then she's going to rotate to her player. Now, this person here that sets the screen often rolls. So we want Tiana to roll. Sienna's job when she comes out of it is 1, 2, and then hands up. Why do we want to teach this part? What do you think? So the lob doesn't happen. It's a little bit more tricky to do. By that stage, I've probably got help defense rotating over. All right, girls, can we see it here? You girls get ready to go on that side for me. Good, make a lead. Talk here. Good, good. You've got to rotate. That's probably my defensive rotation. My bad, girls. Go this side, go. You girls rotate in, get ready to go. Good, hard show, recover, good. See the ball, see the ball. All right, when you rotate out, make sure you can see the ball when you've got it. Go. You good? Good, good. Now play. It's 2 on 2. You're going to try and score. Good. Get across. Go. Next side. Go. You guys make sure you rotate through. Good. 2 shows. Recover. Okay, good. Talk here. Good. Recover. Good, good. Go to score. All right, we'll go one more on this side. Good job. Go. Make a lead. Talk the screen. Okay, Lucy's just done a great job for me. The one thing I neglected to say at the beginning is when we talked about that, you know, making them uncomfortable and Velcroing, you need to make your player use the screen. Okay, but you don't want to be in the be up close, attached, and then I've created a lead foot where she can just blow by me. So it's kind of this, like Lono spoke about, your feet outside her feet. Try to get some attachment when she goes. If she then wants to cross back, I pop back and I'm ready to play. Okay, girls, can we switch it now? Okay, so for us in the championships, we did hard show on the side pick and roll, and then we switched. It was our other option. We didn't want to default to switching because often this was a guard with a big, so then we had someone that was like 5'8" against someone that was 6'5". But as you talked about and we saw before, if they rotate out like this, they'll also have help defense when you think about it when it's 5 on 5. All right, let's go here. So you're switching the side pick and roll now. Talk here, talk, switch, good, good play. Giving yourself up, Sophia. All right, next group, go. Good, good, Tessa, good, don't reach. Try not to reach. Good, aggressive, switch it, good. Good, contain, good girl. Good, be aggressive. Okay, can we just go this side, please? Now, I've spoken a couple of times in my feedback about being aggressive, so I need to actually probably drill that with them. So we're still 2 on 2 with the switch. Okay, so throw it. Go screen. Super aggressive, all right? So it means when she comes off this, you're here, all right? You're meeting her, and then what's her next action likely going to be? Either go one more dribble that way, and you're still going to be aggressive, so she'll probably pick the ball up. And then transfer skills that Lono spoke about before. She picks the ball up. I'm up in her grill, making it really hard for her to pass the ball, all right? So you're not waiting. If you girls know you're in switch, it's aggressive. Let's go. Good, good, good. Keep there, contain, get over. Good girl. Next group, go. Same thing, the switch is aggressive. Good, if she slips it, keep playing, good. Oh, might get out of the way, Jenny. Good, get open. Aggressive, good. Make her pick it up, good girl. Nice tie pan, good. Good job. All right, last one. Aggressive, good. Make her pick it up. Keep playing. All right, girls, you're good. Can you set me up? So I've got offense and defense here, offense and defense over there. We'll do middle pick and roll. Coaches, any questions before I move to the middle pick and roll? Coverages, we're okay? Yep. All right, so middle pick and roll. We had 2 coverages again. We talked about walling, which is like a lateral hard show is what we call it in our terminology. There's jargon everywhere, but that's what we call it. And then we also switched. Okay, so we'll drill that. So ball's over here. So you're going to go and set an on-ball screen in the middle of the floor. So come a little bit. So mid pick and roll. So a couple of things. Again, we want to be close enough so it's uncomfortable, and it's going to be heel, hip, and hand to get over the top of the screening action. This screener is always connected, generally forearm, because this is legal, in her middle of her back. And then we're gonna, when you come to show, so come off the screen for me, it's lateral 1, 2, I've provided my help, my player's recovered, I'm out of there like this. Again, to stop the lob pass. All right, let's see it here. Must wait for the screen, otherwise it's an offensive foul in every game. Good, good, wall it, get back Tessa. Get it, go, next group, have a couple ready, let's go. Good job, girls. Doing a really good job. So start on the elbow, go pick it. Good, wall it, recover, chase. Good girl, next group here. Someone here ready to go at the elbow. You're in? All right, go. Wait for the screen, that's you, Tessa. All right, girls, come back. Quick, same group. Again, I need to make sure I've given them all the information they need to be successful. So I forgot to say stuff like point of the screen. So at Nationals, it's really evident that you need to be in any kind of screening action, that you have to be at the point of the screen to meet what's going to happen next out of the screening action. So the girls come, just go slow-mo for me. Screen, wait for the screen. The reason why we teach about this person here that's defending the screen to have the forearm in the middle of the back is so she's at the point of the screen. So now when Millie comes, I'm 1, 2, Mika hustles, recovers, I'm out straight away. If I'm, go back, if I'm Tessa for a minute and I decide to play it like this, bad things will happen. All right, because when Millie comes off, I'm now like, oh, if I go, I've got to work harder to get there. And then my player's probably long gone. So point of the screen, make sure we have contact. Let's go, a couple more rehearsals. So you girls can be here ready to go next. Good, good, recover, good girl. Get across, Mika. Good, next group. Good, recover. Okay, one more of this, and then we'll go to switching. So on ball, middle pick and roll, walling, point at a screen, right? Got to hold back, go back, go back, go back. So you're still walling, not switching. Switching's the next one. So you're going to talk here. So screen's coming, screen's coming, screen's coming. Prepare yourself. Good. Show. Good girl. Length. All right, we're good. Next group up, let's go. So we'll move now into the switching aspect. It's really, really important. Obviously, I'm going warp speed, but making sure the attention to detail. They communicate, you tell them that the screen's coming, you know your coverage that you're in. So obviously out of your timeouts or your general things, you might have the default is we are in hard show on the sideline, pick and roll, wall in the middle, and then obviously if we need to junk it up, we would give them that information as we go along. So in our teams over the last couple of years, we've had 3 different words. And it's words that the kids have come up with the athletes have come up with. So it's not about us, although I sound pretty crazy while I'm yelling out words like Chad, chaos, or scrum. This year the word was scrum, so it was, they knew if we called scrum at any point at any stage in the game, they knew they were switching. So having a code word for when you're going to junk up the defence or do something different out of your default systems is really important. So girls, you're going to switch this screening action now, okay? So it means you're going to end up on a big, really important, you play big out of it. All right, let's go. Good, good, and then you play. Next group, ready to go. Good job, strong and finish. Good girl. Okay, you're switching the screen. Be aggressive, be aggressive. Good, chase. Okay, we know what's happening, let's go. Wait for the screen. Good. Hold up, come back. What are we doing now? Good girl, go again, that's okay. Good, aggressive, good girl. Stay in it now, play 2v2. Okay, girls, just keep going. I'm going to talk to the coaches, all right? So you're switching. So big thing, some really big learnings is when you've been around a team for a long time and you're in this, I guess, sanctum about preparing them for a national championships, they become very compliant. So if you say to them, we're switching, they know they're switching. The other thing is that when we're doing drills and practicing, Lana talked about before, this is the rehearsal, you need to let them play. So really important, when you know they're super compliant, we're playing 2-on-2, you're switching the middle pick and roll, play out of it is usually the next sentence that comes out of our mouth. Because you just want to do this and they're doing the drill and they're not playing to finish like they would in a game. So we're then having, if we haven't practiced that part of it, the playing out of a coverage, then that's the stuff that exposes us at the national championships. Questions on this stuff before I go to the combo drill?
So just to clarify, what you're saying is that they now so compliant that they're only doing what you asked of them instead of being creative and making the other alternative happen.
In terms of the coverage or in terms of what happens after the coverage? So the question was clarifying about because of the compliance.
Yeah, because you've just said fight over the screen.
Yeah,
or
switch it, yeah.
Do they just focus on...
So generally in a game, it's at that level, you need to give them the information so that they can proceed without whatever's thrown at them. And sometimes at the championship, you've got it, we talk about pivoting. So yes, they're compliant and we say, right, so on the side pick and roll, we're hard showing to start the game. And then it might be that we get absolutely in the first one. So we'll say to them, make a decision if it's hard show or you switch. So then there's a little bit of creativity that goes back to them, but making sure the big thing is, the point of difference is to combat the compliance of being in the hard show and maybe not doing it well and now giving them the option to be able to switch is you need to communicate with your person. Because then you get exposed again. If I think I'm switching and you don't think, my partner doesn't think they're switching, bad things happen. So the compliance part is easy it's great. They do everything you ask them to do as a coach, makes you feel good, but you need them actually to have that natural feel to play at the same time, so. All right, good job. You need a drink or you're right? We're good? Okay, so let's go 4-on-4 for me now. Can I have a person here? Oh, offense and defense, sorry, I should say. Offense and defense in the low post. Offense and defense on the wing. Okay, offense and defense out here in the seam with the basketball. Can we maybe put the guards here? That'd be great. Okay, so this is a combo drill where you can teach multiple screening actions. So for example, we've just done middle pick and roll and then side pick and roll. Now you can put it all together. So the middle pick and roll is the first action. So Mika's gonna come and screen for Sienna. Girls, what do you wanna be in? Let's go wall first. Yeah, okay, great, good answer. All right, so we're gonna wall this and we're gonna hard show the side pick and roll. And then obviously you'll see as it progresses, we'll change what we do on each of the coverages. So come, go that way, Sienna, stretch it. Okay, you're gonna roll. As she rolls out of a screen, Raya lifts. Reverse it. Reverse it. Now you're in a side pick and roll and you're hard showing. Okay, and then it's live and you're playing 4-on-4. Okay, so we're walling the middle pick and roll, hard showing this, playing 4-on-4, play to score. Girls, don't play the drill, play to score, yes? Okay, let's go. Good, roll Mika, lift Raya, good, good job. Good, kick it. Good. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. Not too bad. Flip over, let's go. Make sure you girls sub in. So same thing, we're walling in the middle. Remember, point of the screen all the time. Let's go. Good. Roll, Millie. Lift, lift, Lucy, lift. Reverse it. Side pick and roll. Good. So what they did just here was switch it, but it's not wrong because they had communicated and they then, and you heard Tessa say stay. All right, so that's the thing about compliance, about making sure. So keep playing, girls. So we want to try as best we can to be walling and hard showing, no switching. All right, once you've set the screen in the middle pick and roll, you're rolling. Wait for the screen. Good, go, roll, lift, kick back, kick again, side pick and roll. Hard show, recover. Not too bad, turnover would help me, that'd be great. All right, keep going, one more and then we'll go change up the Ds. The scheme, sorry. Good, hard show, roll, lift, reverse it. Hard show, Natalia, good, recover. Keep playing, play to score. Not too bad. All right, girls, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch both actions. Okay, so the reason we would switch the middle pick and roll, so same drill, exactly the same setup. So the reason we would switch the middle pick and roll is for a containment purpose. So you come off, you're gonna contain the handler, you're rolling, get out of there, Sienna. The other person lifts, you're still gonna stretch it, Mika, okay? We're gonna reverse it, you're gonna give this, and now we're switching to stop the attacking motion. Does that make sense? So at the top in the middle pick and roll, we're switching to contain it and slow the start of the offense down. And then if they're a good team and they reverse it and they get to a side pick and roll, we are then switching to take out the attacking mechanism of the offense. Okay, we're good here? We're good, girls? Let's go. Roll. Good. Lift, kick. Good. You know you're switching. Aggressive. Good. Good job. Good job. Flip over, rotate, change spots, sub in. A couple more, girls. So you're going to keep going while I keep talking to the coaches. So come screen. You're switching this, remember? Go roll a wall to the basket, lift. And this is a switch on the side, pick and roll. Aggressive, go Nat. Keep playing, keep playing. Okay, keep going, keep rolling. So obviously, this is like so far a 25-minute grab of something that takes us about 6 months to make sure we've ticked off all the detail. So obviously, big things for us. When you're defending a screen, it's about being connected if you're defending the screener. If you're the person that's defending that person with the ball that's getting screened, it's about that heel, hip and hand, so you can get skinny and get through and try not to get screened. Okay, the next part for us, the communication side of things is really important. We talked about before about compliance, so making sure they know what coverage they're in. And if they happen to, there was a couple of times where they just switch. Now, I didn't say that was a poor choice by them, I just let them play because they worked it out and they communicated. And I think that's often something that at nationals, you're in the heat of the battle and it's very intense. And if your athletes make a decision that we said, oh, hard show, but they've gone with a switch, you live with it because they're the ones that are on the floor playing it. So as much as we tried to give them as many as possible, it's also, I guess, that autonomy as the athlete on the floor ready to go. So, all right, the last one I'm just going to show you is trapping the side pick and roll. This was not something we sort of focused on a lot with our group when we went away, but it's definitely something that we saw a lot at nationals when teams would come trap us. So same drill, you can either switch or wall this, you just need to communicate. What are you going to do, a wall? Good, go, get out of there, Tessa. Lift, reverse it, kick it. Now you girls are going to trap the ball, so you're both going to be involved. So a wall, you would be on the split line. You may end up with Natalia. So right now out of this, when Natalia rolls from the screen, you could defend 2 people. All right, but just think about it. There'd be a 5th defender normally, okay? All right, so you would come. So heel, hip, hand to come through. Lucy's going to come, probably stay for 2-3 seconds, and then she would get out of it. Or you stay in the trap depending on what else you've coached behind it. All right, can we play that? Good. Roll, lift, kick back, kick it on. You're trapping, get it. Don't foul. Good. Play now, then you have to keep playing. Good job, go again. Now, girls, I've probably embarrassed myself because Lono spoke about in his about don't saying the words don't foul. I should probably say be foul disciplined here, please. All right, so the idea of the trap is actually to make the offensive player super uncomfortable, pick the ball up, you've done your job. You don't need to foul. Then you just need to have two people walling up against one. Really uncomfortable situation, and then have the trust behind you that your teammates will rotate to be able to cover your back when the screener rolls. Let's go again here. Wait for the screen. Good, go, lift, kick, trap it. Good, good job. Or a turnover, which is great. Flip over, offense to defense. Good, roll, lift, kick it, play. Good, stay. Good job. All right, girls, come on in. So similar to what Lono did before, thank you very much. This is obviously probably not what you signed up for, you know, the week before round 3 of SJL and looking to secure a final spot, but really important that as coaches, we get opportunities to coach coaches, but to do that really well, we need people that can demonstrate for us. So you can put your hands together for the girls, please. All right, you're done with me. Good job, kids. Job, grab a drink. All right, questions for me, if any? No? This is the good part where no one doesn't ask any. And Simon will cut that off the tape, which would be great. All right, thank you very much. Hopefully you've got something out of it, pretty warp speed. Jonty and obviously Leonard have got my contact details if there's anything else you would like to ask or want to clarify questions. I'm usually here on a Friday night, anywhere between, 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock, watching our 2 kids play. So happy to help out and ask if you need anything. So I'm going to hand over to Darren, who's got a whiteboard to talk about his learnings from Nationals. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Darren Stephenson's my name. We're really lucky to have people like Peter and Jenny Lonergan here in Canberra to be able to talk us through those sorts of things. It's fantastic that they're based here in Canberra and the AIS is here too. So what I thought I might do, I was lucky enough to coach the under-18 men's guys to the Nationals that were on about 3 weeks ago. And what I thought I might do is just share some learnings around what I found as a coach, as much off the court as on the court, because largely they're so intertwined in respect to how you get the results on the court. So I've been coaching with the ACT rep programs for about 10 years or thereabouts, had a couple of years off here and there, but started in the under-12s like many people do, started doing the Friday night stuff back before that, and just gradually built my coaching ability through to doing this sort of stuff and really loved it. But chalk and cheese really from what I was doing as an under-12 coach to what I'm doing now. But I'm really pleased we're running these sorts of sessions, so hopefully you can get a little bit out of it. But everyone's got their own skills and strengths as a coach. Yeah, we had a really good tournament in respect to the environment that we created. Part of the challenge though, and part of my work outside of basketball is I do leadership development and build high-performing teams in a whole range of different ways. But the tournament itself was probably one of the biggest leadership challenges I've had for years and years, largely because I had to dig deep into the toolkit of all the bits that I know, and I didn't get it all right, that's for sure, but I learnt a lot as we went. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions too in terms of what we faced and what would you do if you're faced with the same sorts of things. So our prep was pretty good. We were feeling pretty good about ourselves. We deliberately got practice games versus lots of good, tough teams that were older than us, tougher than us, they'd been around longer than us. Some men's teams. We had the Showcase tournament that you may have heard about at the AIS with Global Academy games and different teams that Leonard had brought to Canberra, which was terrific. So anyway, we felt we were pretty good in terms of our prep. We chose a squad of 12.
Now, I don't think there's any coach that likes coaching with 12 players. If you do, good work, good luck. It's bloody difficult to do though. But we did it for a couple of reasons. One was we wanted to give, part of the way that I tend to look at these sorts of roles is you're there for the greater good, and we wanted to make sure that we chose enough bottom ages to prepare for next year as well as compete strongly this year. So it's always a fine dance as to how you do that. In terms of the minutes, which is the hard part, isn't it, to spread the minutes across? Everyone wants to play when they're there. They want to do well when they're there. For all of the 12 players, the lowest in terms of minutes played was 10 minutes on average per game. The highest was 24. So that's a really interesting spread when you think about it from a nationals perspective. Really hard to coach that way though, because you're there to win games. You want to win games, right? So you want to have your best players on for as long as you can to compete as hard as you can. We ended up winning 3 games and losing 4. Interestingly though, it was a battle all the way through. The teams that we beat at the end of the tournament largely had their best players gassed, or what I'd call gassed. When you go to an under-18s national tournament, it's like going to the furnace for basketball. As a coach, as a manager, as a player, it's the mental and physical fatigue that really takes it out of you. So those 10 to 12 minutes, you could run most of those people that were in that 12 squad just about full games on a Friday night, and they'd be more gassed from their 10 or 15 minutes at nationals. It's really interesting to break it down. About 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes at a stretch for any one player before they start to get gassed out there at any one particular point. And then the turnovers would start to go, the decision making would start to go, and obviously your points would rack up in the way that you don't want it to. So it's a really fine balance. Out of those 12, we had about 4 guys that you could completely rely on to what I call execute under pressure throughout the whole period. Another 4 that could do that most of the time, and another 4 that were a bit hit and miss. And probably 2 actually that probably didn't handle it all that well in terms of the level of intensity. So you'd ask yourself, should we have taken those extra 2? For the greater good, yes, because one of them's a really good bottom ager that will benefit from the experience for next year. The other one was a top ager who you know has got loads of potential, who's going to kick on from here, and he's still growing. He's already 6'8". So for the greater good of Canberra basketball, I'd say yes, but for me as the coach this year, that made it a bit harder in terms of getting the results. So you can choose to do it a different way as a coach and just purely focus on this year, but I tried to manage the 2 hands in play, and I was pretty pleased with where we got to in the end. Interestingly, we sat down with each player multiple times through the preparation phase. About a week to two weeks out, we sat down with each individual again and asked them about their aspirations for the tournament. Also, just reminded them about expectations, minutes, role clarity, all those good things that you do as a coach. 8 out of the 12, part of their individual aspirations was to get noticed by Australian coaches, COE, college guys, college scouts. And I thought, well, fair enough if that's your aspiration. But the reality was, through the 14s, 16s and 18s, this group had finished either last or second last all the way through. And so you can see there's a mismatch there. Aspirations sky high, the reality's down here somewhere. So what would you do as a coach when you get that sort of individual aspirational piece, knowing that the reality is going to be a little bit different when you get into the furnace, when they're playing against the best under-18 athletes across the country? And they are unbelievable, that some of these athletes, they are watching them play on a Friday night, it's like a different sport almost.
Asking about what they could do individually to reach that goal. If that's their end goal, then what are the steps that they can do?
Yep. Yeah, it's a really good point. It's hard to talk to them like that if they haven't experienced what they're about to experience. So it comes through practice and living through it as much as anything. But you're dead right. There's the aspect around managing their own expectations, and I think half of it was coming through a bunch of parents as well, which you can't say, no, that's ridiculous. You just got to roll with it. Anyway, we put a lot of time in preparing for what I call our culture base, really, around, so what is it that's going to really drive our preparation and our delivery and our performance when we're there?
Self-motivation.
Sorry?
Self-motivation.
Yeah, that's got to be part of it, self-motivation. One of the key team values down here was taking accountability for your prep and performance. So you can have aspiration wherever you want it to be, but at the end of the day, it's up to the athlete to take accountability for not only their own prep, but what actually happens through their performance. And you can see another one, if you've got glasses on like me that I need, you've got to be able to execute under pressure. I use this term execute under pressure a lot. And those 4 that I touched on, they could execute under pressure consistently throughout each of the games. That's not to say they were rock stars or didn't do anything wrong, but you just knew when they were on the court, they could handle the pressure at that level. Some of the guys that had that aspiration, they couldn't do it consistently. They'd have a great game one game, or they might have a great quarter, but they just couldn't do it consistently at that level. And so part of the reason for telling you that is we played poorly in the first game, even though we prepared really well. There's a whole range of reasons for it. About 3 days out from the start of the tournament, the media put out this list of the top 20 under 18 athletes coming to the Nationals, and they ranked this one guy from ACT as the top ranked guy, which was just ridiculous in respect to where the guy was at. He was ranked higher than the COE, the Global Academy guys, and he hadn't done anything at any other tournament previously. He was lucky to get selected in many ways. ECC, the tournament that we base a lot of selection on in January, where you play South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, he didn't do well at all. He was 6'9", South Sudanese guy, great guy. Potentially he's going to be a really good player, but he's just not quite there yet. Anyway, he hadn't done anything, and we're wondering, where did this come from? And so as a coach, what do you do with that? Because you know it's just going to create a big X on the back of his back. He's going to be a target now for the opposition, because they're going to see this and they're going to think, well, who's this Canberra guy? As soon as he walks on the court, we'll be ready and we'll see if he's made of anything. Anyway, he's really raw. He's only been playing rep basketball for about 18 months. Lots of potential, but lots to learn. And physically, he wasn't really prepared for it either, in terms of his strength. So as a coach, what do you do with that 3 days out? Because I could see this was going to hurt us from a team perspective. A lot of our offensive structure was built around our bigs, and we had some good bigs. He was one of them.
Can you use him as a distraction?
Say again?
Can you use him as a distraction?
Distraction.
Yeah.
So how would you do that for a 17-year-old who's ready to rock and roll and show the basketball world how good he is?
It's hard.
It's a big thing to ask him to be a distraction.
Or a pawn. I mean, as a coach, can you use him as a pawn so that you've got 11 other players that could potentially benefit, and he hopefully develops from it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's a good, in a grand scheme thing, absolutely. But yeah, we just got shocked, and I think he got shocked 3 days out. We don't know where it came from, by the way. It certainly wasn't us putting his name out there. Yeah, so you could either embrace the hype, try and talk him down from the ledge of the hype. So what do you do? So anyway, we talked to him about how you're feeling, what's in your mind, and he was sort of playing it pretty cool, as you'd expect a 16 or 17-year-old to do, because he hadn't been to anything like this. He thought, yeah, well, I'm pretty good. I'll go and match it and see how I go and have a crack, and good on him for that. But basically, first game out, he could barely catch the ball. You could tell the extra nerves, the extra pressure were there, and the opposition had another good big 6'8" guy who's a really good player, just knocked him round, too strong, through the hips and around the boards. He could barely catch the ball. The amount of turnovers we had, and it wasn't his fault. Sorry, Jen, did you want to say something? No? Yeah, so that really set us back a touch.
Could have worked on the other players as well, because they're thinking, well, we got this guy who's ranked number 1.
Yeah.
They just rely a bit more on him.
Yeah.
He feels more pressure. where the other guys are not feeling the pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
And going, hey, give him the ball.
Yeah.
I'm sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
So there could be that too.
Yeah.
So it works.
That's right.
Against the other players.
Yeah.
Being relying on someone who
Yeah.
is perceived to be better
Yeah.
than us. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they don't take the accountability because we've got an ace.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and they were very supportive of this guy, but they knew in their heart of hearts too, this guy, the ranking was ridiculous. He was a good player, but, you know, anyway, it was just a really interesting perspective as a coach. What do you actually do with that? And then what do you do with that after game one when the guy comes off the court feeling really upset and disappointed that all this, I'm the number one ranked prospect and I can barely catch the ball with all these eyes on me. And the team didn't play all that well. It wasn't his fault completely. And I take some responsibility for that. It was game one, 10 a.m. and the courts were free beforehand. So we got to the courts nice and early. Everyone was pumped up, excited to get there, but we warmed up for probably 10 minutes too long because we were just keen to be out there. But I think we spent too much gas and that started to show in terms of where our mental energy was. And then we started to turn the ball over through those sorts of things. And anyway, we didn't play well, especially in that first half. Second half we played well, but the game was gone by that stage. Yeah, so then you come back to the hotel and what do you do with it? So obviously you've got to talk about it. But anyway, I thought about it as a leader, what should I do for the group? And I certainly didn't pinpoint it on that guy. Didn't pinpoint it on anyone. I just accepted responsibility for the loss as a coach. Didn't get the warm-up timing right. We'll be better for it tomorrow. So I just thought I'd take the heat out of the guys off that first game because they were coming with sky-high expectations, but the performance first up was down here and we're obviously disappointed because that was a game that we thought we could get at Queensland North. A very good team, but we hadn't seen them. They hadn't seen us. They're usually a strong performing outfit, but you just never quite know what you're going to get. So anyway, we were disappointed with that. Game two, we turned up. We played slightly better, but if there's one game across the tournament that I wish we could have again, it would be that one. Largely because we got the ball into the hoop or into the paint pretty well, but we just couldn't finish. It was like there's some cellophane around the hoop. And it came back to largely our guys, the fundamentals just weren't there to be able to finish in the heat, under the heat. They kept going up with teardrop type putbacks rather than using the backboard. I know it sounds basic, but this is what the heat and the stress does when you're coming up against really strong defenders around that point. So we just couldn't apply any scoreboard pressure. So anyway, that was a game that we wish we could do again. The following game we played Northern Territory and we were starting to lose confidence, but it was a good time to play them because we just needed a game where we could play with some freedom, get the ball in the hoop a bit and start to build some confidence. And we beat them by about 80. I felt sorry for those guys. They were clearly well off, as they often are, but we just had to use it for what we needed. Anyway, the tide started to turn a little bit for us in terms of confidence. After that, we then ran into some really tough teams around New South Wales Metro, who are always going to be a top two team with their athleticism, the way they were running. Vic Country, incredibly well drilled. Very, very good team with a lot of gun players in it. We competed really well against both of those teams for probably 2 out of the 4 quarters. And talking to their coaches afterwards, they were really complimentary with what we put up against them. They said ACT really shocked us. We weren't expecting such a tough match. So that you take something like that away from those big, strong, tough teams. Anyway, then we started to turn in towards the back end of the tournament. And it was largely through what we were doing off the court that enabled us to stay connected, to perform well in the big games, to finish off the tournament. And so in Pool 1, I think we finished 5th, I think. And we were due to play 5th in the other pool. And if you won that, then you got to play off for 9th spot. So we're playing against South Australian Country, who 2 years earlier were playing off for the gold medal in the under-16s in the equivalent age group, and they had some outstanding gun guards in particular, that part of Australian programs and so on. But what we'd built throughout the week was what you can see on the board there. We'd check in after each night. We'd have some acknowledgement for the players that role modelled these things that you see on the board every night. So resilience, care and connection for each other, accountability, as I was saying, trust in yourself to deliver well at this level, but trust in your teammates to do the same. You can see that team trademark up the top there. The reason we came up with that is we didn't have any COE or Global Academy guys. Usually when you've got that, you've got guys that can go out and get you 20, 25 points a game, and that's just what they can do because they're that good. Most other teams did, but we didn't. So we knew we needed a big defensive focus, and we sort of borrowed that defend the capital from the Tassie Jack Jumpers, if you recall. Not last season, but the season before, they won the NBL. And their catchphrase was, or team trademark, was to defend the island. And they were a very defensive orientated team, and they beat the more fancied Melbourne United, if you can remember that, in the NBL finals. So it was largely the same mindset. So I remember talking to everyone at the trials, really prioritising our selections around really good defenders, and we were really quite good at defence throughout the tournament. Not perfect, but quite good. And so we had a real focus on defence, and we knew, and I remember talking to the guys, that we need to be able to defend totals of around 75 or 80 points if we're going to win games at Nationals. And so we put a big emphasis on defence there. And we selected guys that could do that. And so offensively, we knew we'd get the occasional 20-point game out of some guys, but we knew we wouldn't be able to get it from the same guys for every game. So we needed 10, 12, 8, whatever from everybody else. So anyway, that's the way it played when we got to South Australian country. Our guys were still confident and up and united, connected, cohesive. And this is where the off-the-court stuff as a leader of your team really matters. Because it would have been so easy for us to go through the back door because it was all getting too hard and we're all fatigued and tired, mentally shot. All those guys that had the aspiration to go and get noticed by the college scouts and the COE guys, it just wasn't playing out in the way that they'd hoped. They were still playing okay, but nowhere near as well as they'd hoped, because the players that they're playing against are just that bit better. So anyway, we got to South Australian country. We won the game, I think, by 5 points. It was a real grinding, tough game. And we kept them to under 70, I think it was. And we really did a job on their 2 superstar guards. And largely we were able to do that because we had enough freshness within our top players to be able to nullify what they brought to the table. And I dare say they were turning up expecting to roll over the top of us, because they'd only just missed out from the quarterfinals on percentage. They were still a very good team. But largely because of this stuff and the ability to stay connected together and stay confident and get people really focused on the job at hand with enough energy to do it really helped us immensely there. So we were really proud of that effort. And so then we got to play off for 9th against Tasmania in the end it was. And Tassie, like South Australian country, had some really top-notch players that were part of NBL 1 development squads and so on. Again, we scouted hard. We had really strong role clarity for our guys, and they were really up for it. Got a lot of confidence out of the South Australian country win. And again, same thing. We kept them to under 70 points. But it was a real grinding affair. We only won both of those games by about 4 or 5 points or something. And from my coaching perspective, I was really proud of myself, because whilst we're talking about that stuff for the players, the coaches needed to role model it and live it themselves. So for me, as I watch those games back now, executing under pressure and staying calm with all the stress and pressure, especially in the last quarter of those games, I thought I did really, really well, because I could have made different decisions, different rotations, and there was a few referee decisions that really stress tested us in different ways. And so I was knackered, but I was able to just stay focused and stay connected with what I felt we needed to do. And so that really helped us, I think. So that's what I'm really proud of there. But the guys all finished the tournament on a high. We finished 9th. But the best thing about it is we're able to stay connected and upbeat and really focused from the disappointment of games 1 and 2 to the highs of finished strongly a week later under this massive stress test that you're under. And it's really hard to describe unless you've seen it and been a part of it as a coach or a player or whatever. But it's been a great experience. And I dare say out of the 12 players, I reckon 10 of them had a great experience. One of them really struggled for confidence, and we worked hard to try and build that throughout the tournament. We just couldn't quite unlock it, unfortunately. And so, yeah, overall, there's not too much we would have done that much differently, I don't think. We always think about hindsight. Did we take the right players? Did we run the right plays? What did we learn? So, yeah, if we had that time again in game 2, we would have loved to have played that one differently and got the first half of game 1. But anyway, you always think back about different things you learn and so on. But you learn a lot as a coach as you go through these things. But yeah, as you need to think through, if you wanted to coach at this level, what sort of coach are you? How do you deal with stress and pressure? What happens when you get fatigued? It's so easy to go into blame mode, blame the players for letting you down, disappointment with the referees, disappointment with what you see on a Friday night because the guys aren't prepared. The stuff that Lono and Jen just walked you through, if we can get that stuff embedded, it makes it so much easier for when we get to the national tournaments at 16s and 18s, because then you don't have to waste all the time getting the fundamental piece built up, and you just don't have the time. And that's where these other states, you watch their players and they're fundamentally so much stronger because they prioritise it, and their players just don't get through to the elite level unless the fundamentals are bedded in. And the work that they just showed you, that is fundamental high-level basketball, but it's fundamentally important that we've got to get it right. So defensive containment, boxing out, no middle D, all these things that we don't see enough of on Friday nights. So if you're coaching out on Friday nights or SJL or JPL, and I was doing it for years, you just focus on winning the game as much as you can, or winning the tournament as much as you can. But if you can get this stuff bedded in, one, you'll win the games, but you'll really help the players and the future coaches, and hopefully you guys will be the future coaches as you take that stuff forward, because it's amazing when you get to you only really have a few months before these national tournaments, and if you've got to spend a bunch of time really coming back to fundamental stuff, it really hurts your preparation. Does that make sense? But it's, until you see it and you live it, it's really hard to really appreciate it. I remember as an under-12 coach going to NJC for the first time, National Junior Classic, where you take your top under-12 team to go and play against the Nuttawaddings or the Norwoods, the top state teams. And my head was just spinning. Holy crap. Look at the pace and the fundamentals. It's just so much further advanced than us. And so I came back from that first tournament and thought, geez, I need to be a far better coach and focus on different things if I'm going to compete at those levels as a coach. But anyway, you learn as you go. So, yeah, a couple of things I'd take away in terms of learnings. Things that'll undo you as a coach: ego. See so many coaches, especially around the local level, wanting they let their ego get ahead of them. They want to either take on the refs, or they want to outcoach the person on the other side, and they want to prove how clever they are. They want to impose themselves on the team. Just check your ego a little bit. Provide things really fundamentally important for coaches: lack of role clarity. Make sure you got role clarity up your sleeve. It's really important. Build as much trust as you can for yourself and your team. that can mean a whole stack of things, which I'd talk to you about if we had more time. You need to manage your own exhaustion and fatigue as well. I don't know about you, but I tend to perform so much better when I'm fresh. But when you're exhausted, you just got to manage your way through it. And you need to look after your coaching team too in these situations. Everyone's tired. Your job's never done, and half of it, or probably 2/3 of it, I thought, throughout the tournament was done off the court rather than on the court. And that would apply for a lot of what you do too, I dare say, whether you're coaching locally or in the SJL. Most of what you do happens off the court. Clarity and simplicity is so important when your players are fatigued and they're in learning mode. If you overcomplicate it, you'll run into all sorts of problems. So you just saw those drills before. Really good insights there, but don't overcomplicate. And that goes right to this level as well. So clarity and simplicity. But yeah, any questions on any of those things? That's a very quick walkthrough. You've got to manage aspirations, expectations yourself as well. You can be a coach wanting to go in and win the tournament, but the reality is you've got to navigate your way through the disappointment and how you can navigate it and finish well.
Every day after you finish a game, did you have dinner together or a team meeting? How did you check in?
Yeah, we had some downtime, like Toby was with us. Yeah. Nev was just saying, what did you do after each game in terms of managing the time and managing the team energy? Depending on the game time, and sometimes you'd have 2 games, sometimes just 1 game. Toby, the physio, was there, so we'd often come straight back to the hotel, have a bite, jump in the pool, and we'd do a physical rundown. The pool is so good; it was quite a cold pool, so the guys got a lot of, and the girls did the same in terms of replenishing their body that way. And then we'd get a bite to eat, then give the guys some time out. And then, yeah, we'd get together depending on the game time over the dinner meal, and we'd talk about this stuff. I'd have the game sheet, you know, how many turnovers do we have, how many rebounds, who did well, where was our resilience, who did well, what can we learn from it, and so on. And by that stage, as a coaching group, we will have done some scouting on our next opponent as well. So you've got to put to bed the game that you've just done, especially if it's disappointment. We don't want guys going to bed disappointed and worried and upset with themselves. And we need to quickly turn to the next challenge. And so the scouting notes were quite clear and quite simple, but that was the coach's job. So you need a bit of downtime too, but you're always thinking a couple of steps ahead. And you're up early. It's a full-on experience, but a really great one too. Yeah. So if you ever get the chance to do it, embrace it, enjoy it. You impact people's lives in a way that they'll always, I'm confident those guys will always reflect fondly on the time that they had together. They're good mates and they achieved some good stuff together. So, yeah. So I talked to Leonard after every game, and I was really open to it as well. I think as a coach, you need to be open-minded about what another really experienced coach sees in a game and what they can offer. And yeah, he gave me some great tips as we went along. So that was really helpful. So if you're just coaching on your own, try to have somebody that you can bounce off and learn from. It's a really important thing. And you will learn and get better for it. Yeah, so anyway, yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, just ran over a little bit. I'll just close it quickly. Look, I think this morning it was an absolute. First of all, I see so many new faces here, so I think I probably need to introduce myself. I'm Lonergan. I'm the performance manager at Basketball ACT, and it's great to see so many new faces here. Hopefully I get a chance to meet some of you before you walk away. we offer this. This is an annual coaching clinic. We always offer it after our under-18 national championships. The main piece for offering this to the rep coaches and the wider community is to ensure we all learn from the experiences of our under-18 coaches. It's really important to learn from that, bring it back down so our 16 coaches learn the lessons that they had, our 12 and 14 coaches learn the lessons that they had. More importantly, our coaches at that community level are learning the lessons of what's happening at the highest level here in basketball, Australia, okay? So that's the purpose of this. Thank you so much for supporting us. As you can see, we had a wide range of coaches and professionals over the morning. Started with Toby. Look, I can't stress enough how important it is for that skill acquisition and that S&C training at the under 10s, under 12s, and under 14s level. This year, we're going to take 2 under 16 teams away to a national championship. It will not be our best players. 2 of our best players in the under 16 boys are not available because of injury. 2 of our under 16 girls are not available because of injury. When I say injury, long-term injury, long-term. So while it is important to get in there and play and get up and down, it's also important to fortify those young bodies, prepare those bodies for the rigors of basketball. And that's part of your job as a coach, to ensure that you're preparing those athletes to be able to be on the court time and time again, okay? After that, we had Lionel speak on-ball defense, and Jenny talk about defending the on-ball screen. Those are super, super important. Screening action at the last under-18 national championship, I'd say 70 to 80% of all action involved some sort of screening action, whether that was a dribble handoff or an on-ball screen. Your athletes will be exposed, okay? So it's really important that you teach them how you're going to defend, how you're going to use on-ball screen, okay? And then finally, we had Darren come in, which I think was great, to talk about lessons learned, insights from the national championship, things that you can actually apply in your area, whether you're coaching grassroots at the community level or coaching SJL or JPL. So really wide-ranging coaching clinic. Thank you so much for coming out to support us. Just a few other things we want to talk about. Jonty's running our Futures Coaches program. I think he's sent some information out about that. If you're unsure exactly what that is, please send an email through to Jonty, and he'll be able to get back to you on that. We also have, I call it Hooping Well, but that's for the athletes. It's Coaches in Harmony. I think it's Coaches in Harmony. So we have a well-being program that we're offering for coaches. We have a well-being program that we offer for our athletes, which we call Hooping Well. And I believe the coaches aspect is Coaching in Harmony or Coaches in Harmony. So that's a well-being program, free of charge, that we're offering for coaches at the community level. We'd love for our clubs to uptake that. We really want you to look after yourself. As you can see from Darren, it's really important that coaches, have some care and well-being in their own life. They're not just there just for the athletes. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to Basketball ACT, and we'll certainly come out to your club and we'll deliver some well-being sessions for those coaches that are within your club. Okay? Thank you so much for turning out, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay?